are a failure. Okay, so quit joking. Enough with the games. This one's gonna be serious, man. This one's gonna be yeah, this one's gonna be a bit emotional for me because I'm digging deep into the depths of my soul to tell you guys what I'm about to tell you. So, and this is gonna be raw, real. Just I'm gonna be completely vulnerable with you guys. I'm 26 and I've never felt more useless and lost in my life. But I found a way out. And in this video, I'll tell you exactly how I have overcome my addiction and reclaimed my life. This is one of those videos that, you would never want your parents to see, but it's my story. And yeah, I take full ownership, 100%. So my name is Carlton, and this is my story. It's a journey from failure and addiction and struggle to hope and freedom. You see, for me, I grew up in Cameroon, right? So Cameroon is a Central African country. It's a place of hope, but it's also a place of turmoil, political, economic, and social turmoil. And for me, it all started when I was in between schools, and it was around the same time that I became very disillusioned with the whole traditional school system. Just early teenage rebellion, right? And I was frustrated with the system. I was frustrated with just being there, and I wanted to leave. So I first got introduced to gambling, but it was through a friend. A friend introduced me to it, and for me, it wasn't. I didn't have the typical gambler story where they begin with a thrilling win, and that keeps them hooked, right? They get excited, and it keeps them hooked. For me, it was all about losses. I started with losses, and I remember my very first bet was a loss, and instead of feeling discouraged and just completely demotivated and unwilling to try again, I felt challenged. I felt like I could beat the system, and that stubborn belief, that false optimism, was what got me stuck. And yeah, that stubborn belief led to loss after loss. I was using 1xBet at the time, because most of the bets that I place are on football. I don't place bets on any other game. It's just football, because I'm a football fan. At the time, I used to play football, and I was very passionate about football. Before I could realize it, I started using rent money, money for fees, even money for my own health. I gambled it all away with the hope that I could win big, and and chase my dreams. The breaking point for me came when I finally flew over. I changed country. I came to Cyprus, where I was pursuing a degree in computer engineering. And yeah, this is really painful for me to say, but yeah, the breaking point came when I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. I'm going to talk about that in an entire new video, because it's a whole different world in there, in and of itself. I'm going to talk about how I live with it and how I manage it, and I truly believe it's going to be of immense utility for someone. So I got diagnosed with it, and instead of, at the time, I held a small ESL job that helped me stay afloat while living in a foreign country, and I would save money, and I had this savings account, and instead of using that money for my health, instead of using that money to get good food and and taking care of myself, getting myself the prescribed drugs, I would believe naively. It's just looking back at what I've done. It's beyond infantile. It's bloody ridiculous. I would use that money and place bets, hoping that I would win big, and then I'll be able to take care of myself better. I'll be able to do more colonoscopies. I'll be able to do more tests, and I'll be able to afford myself the best medicine out there, the best medical care out there, and I'll be able to totally reverse my autoimmune disease. It's just horrible. It's just horrible. I feel this deep sense of shame even talking about it right now, because it was just very, very naive, very unbelievable. Can you believe that you're so obsessed with something that your own health becomes secondary? Yeah. But again, that was me. We all make mistakes, don't we? And look, I'm certain I don't speak just for me here. I'm not an isolated case. I truly believe that there's someone out there going through the same thing, and who's been through the same thing, and who would need this message. So I need you guys to share this message across. Share this message with as many people as possible, because we never know. We just never know who might need it. Like the video so it could just keep spreading. You keep spreading, and who knows, it might get to someone who just needs that one last hope. And look, just to prove that I don't believe I'm an isolated case, I got this. I got my notebook here. I have some statistics that I want to share with you. Just shocking statistics that I want to share with you right now. And this is especially for you, my African brothers, because I know what it's like. I know the struggle in there. Sporty bet, 1x bet. If you're in Cameroon, you bet Momo. I get that. I know all about it. And you're in there hoping, okay, this is my way out, right? I could win that huge accumulator bet. It's not coming. It's never going to come, right? I hate to tell you, but it's the odds. The odds are overwhelmingly. The odds are monumentally against you, right? It's like you're swimming. You're a fish swimming upstream. It's crazy. So it's kind of pointless, man. So here's just listen to this. So there was an East African study, that studied all males, most of them students, who would confess to losing their fees and were contemplating suicide. That's in East Africa. The National Violent Death Reporting System in the USA between the year 2003 to 2020 reported 1,306 betting-related suicides, gambling-related suicides. That's just crazy. That contributes to about 0.44% of all the suicide rates in the US. These are the countries with the highest gambling rates in Africa. We've got Kenya with 83.9%. They mostly bet on football games. We have Nigeria, 78%. South Africa, 74%. 74% of a nation is involved or has once been involved with some form of sports betting. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. And we've also got worthy mentions like Ghana, Uganda, Tanzania at 73% and 71% respectively. And the future prediction, the gambling market is predicted to get to $1.85 billion by the end of this month. That gives us an annual growth rate of about 6.28%. 6.28% between this year and 2028. You don't have to be a data analyst to see that we are currently in an epidemic. We are in a gambling epidemic. There is a 70% chance that almost anyone you meet on the streets right now is involved with some form of gambling or has been involved with some form of sports betting. So people need this. People need to hear this. So people need to hear this. It's a fool's errand. It's a total waste of time. You cannot place your hopes on accumulator bets. You cannot place your hopes on lottery tickets. Well, needless to say that all those bad decisions started to really take a toll on me. And I wasn't making any progress in terms of my health. My condition just got worse, and I had to formulate some kind of lie and tell my mum. And she would help me out with some cash, and I would use that to take care of myself and eat the right things. Because you see, when you have ulcerative colitis, you've got to be really careful about your choice of food, your stress levels and that, because you could get a flare. You could get a flare up at any time. So I would lose money, become more stressed, worsen my symptoms, lose money, get stressed, my symptoms get worse, and that cycle was just very persistent for quite some time. And I started to notice that I was just losing my mind. I had a mental breakdown. My my academic performance as well just totally plummeted, and I was just in a very horrible place. It got so bad. It got so bad that, hey, nah, it's not what you're thinking. I wasn't suicidal. I've never wanted to take my life, but I just wished I had never gotten introduced to sports betting in the first place, because all it's done is just caused me more harm than giving me any benefit. So so I finally admitted that I had a problem, and that was actually the hardest part of it, because it's very difficult to admit your own faults, and to admit your shame, and to be humble, right? So sports betting had hijacked my mind. It had hijacked my rationality and robbed me of control. I couldn't even enjoy watching football games without some financial stakes attached to it. There had to be some form of expected remuneration before I would even enjoy a game. I would even enjoy something that I really used to be very passionate about. But here's what saved me: understanding the root cause of my addiction and rewriting my story. And it all starts with what I learned from Gabor Mate. He's a Hungarian-American psychologist, neuroscientist. I watched some of his videos on YouTube, and is a truly inspirational person. He talks about childhood trauma, addiction, and healing the inner child and stuff like that. And what I learned from him was that his work, yeah, it taught me that addiction isn't about the substance. It wasn't about the the application for me. It wasn't the feeling I got when I placed a bet. It wasn't so much the thing itself, right? Seeing my games on an accumulator. That wasn't it. The root cause of addiction is it's about the feeling behind the addiction. And what do I mean by the feeling? Typically it's the pain behind the addiction. Because if we take any kind of addiction, like drugs or pornography or addiction to sweet stuff, addiction to sugar, whatever, man, addiction to video games and whatnot. The root cause is typically the feeling behind the addiction. It isn't so much that the video game is irresistible. It isn't so much that the pornography is irresistible. It isn't so much that the drugs are irresistible or the drugs are addictive. It's that the pain, the feeling behind the addiction leads you to these destructive habits. So in my case, for example, I realized that my frustration with school and the circumstances around me, the crisis, the corruption, being arrested just because I was coming out of a Western Union exchange point, and just not feeling like I was in the right place, and all of that, and all that bad energy. It left me. It left me some desperation, and that desperation pushed me into some places where I wished I had never gotten into. So the moment I identified my pain and I identified the root cause of I could address my own my own self-decimation. So what did I do? I started reading. I was journaling every day. And I was also reconnecting with what truly mattered. And very slowly, I regained control over my life. And it was really mostly about control. It wasn't so much about the fact that I lost money here and there, but it was what hurt the most was that I felt like I was out of control. And that's something we all want to have in life, right? We all want to feel like we are the agents behind our decisions. We want to feel like we are in control of our lives. So today I'm not perfect, but I'm free. I'm free. I believe that even with the occasional bets I place here and there, it's just purely for fun. I'm about to graduate college. I have a great relationship. And I'm focusing on what really matters. I've discovered a true sense of purpose, which is to educate people on the power of owning your story. And I want to tell people what true vulnerability looks like and show them what it really looks like. And I'm growing mentally. I truly believe I'm in a good place. And if you've ever been in my shoes, if you've ever felt stuck, lost, addicted, or hopeless, you're definitely not alone. There is a way out, and I guarantee you that the genesis of the way out is to own your story. The very first step you have to take is owning your story. There's a way out, and it starts with owning your story. The only way you can move forward, the only way you can completely make peace with every bad decision you've ever made is when you completely accept what you did, because only then can you change it. If you deny it, then the solution is always going to elude you. So yeah, own it. I mean, I know it's hard. I know it's very difficult to do, but you can start small. Just start very small. You can write down a sentence like, "I feel stupid right now." You could say that to yourself. "I feel dumb for what I did." That's how you start to. You don't have to show anyone. You could just keep it in your journal. You could keep it in your journal, and you could read it out to yourself. Maybe first thing when you wake up in the morning. That's how you own this. And trust me, there is tremendous power in owning your story. And that's what I did. And that's precisely what I have already judged myself enough to the point where like external criticism just wouldn't affect me anymore, because I've already put myself at the lowest point, right? I couldn't go down any lower. So I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. That's how you can move forward. That's how you can grow beyond this. Of course, in addition to finding out the root cause of why you're endlessly spending money on tickets, on lottery tickets, and horse racing and all that stuff, you have to identify the root cause, right? Because that's when you would know exactly how to face it. That's when you know who to share your story with, and who to talk about your life with. If you're struggling with addiction, I strongly urge you to look within. Look within yourself. Look within yourself. The answers are right inside of you, right there, just waiting for you to own up to them, waiting for you to fetch them. And this is for those of you who might be suspecting someone of some kind of addiction. If you see them withdrawing or isolating themselves, please do not hesitate to check on them. It might save a life. And if you've got a story, please share them in the comments. I'd really love to hear your own story. Let's support each other. Let's see how we can lend out our warmth and our humanity towards each other. And let's support each other, because I truly believe we're all on this journey together. We're all on this journey together, and I need you just as much as you might need me. And I cherish your voice. I really cherish your opinion. So leave something for me in the comments, and I'll be glad to respond. I really believe we can grow into something. We can grow into something better. We can grow further. We can go further together, as the old adage goes. Yeah, I'm really glad that I shared this. Again, I'm going to keep insisting, share this with someone who might need it. You just don't know who you might be giving hope to. I don't know, maybe my story might not be inspirational enough for someone, but there's definitely someone out there who could use my testimony. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Thank you.